Chad is having a nice talk about going to Germany. I very much love my time there, I can say that. For sure. But here in Magic Duels land, we're gonna stick to blue-red and we're gonna stick to tribal, but we're just gonna switch tribes. And we're gonna play blue-red Eldrazi. A lot of the usual suspects and vehiculars of different types. And then we've got some nice removal spells in the 2-spot. Then we've got kind of this mid-range approach with Vile Aggregate, Sky Spawners, going up to Glorybringers, Reality Smashers, Drowners of Hope. This is an interesting deck. It's hard to say where it sits in the meta and in the class system, because some draws are really hard to beat, and then other draws it just seems like a clunkathon. But let's put it to the test. That's enough of assuming. Let's test it. Let's test it out and see what it has. We might do a whole bunch of blue-red decks today. It's amazing how many different deck types I have within blue-red, or that contain blue-red and the third color. There's just no lack of them. I've got so many. Like here in my list of decks to try that I keep on my iPhone, I've got 3 blue-red decks in a row, and this is the second one. Shard, I didn't even acknowledge that I missed the ballista ticking down for lethal. I only had 1 counter and the opponent was at 2. Am I crazy? Did I miss something else? I mean, I swear I looked at that. But maybe I was stupid. No, I only had 1 counter. I played it for 1, not 2. I played it off 2 Aether hubs after playing the Word of the Rogue. So that part I'm dang sure on. I mean, it was a 2-2 because of the Chief of the Foundry, but it only had 1 counter. Does that make sense? Maybe I'm forgetting to mention that. Okay, missed the Chief. Yep. No worries. No worries. Ooh, yeah, buddy. Not gonna play the obligator right now. Just gonna swing in and see what my opponent's got. Although it's gonna be awkward that I can't play this warping wail this turn because I didn't play the vestige. I gotta get my skills back for playing cards like that. I guess we could play this post-combat. Seems bad. Seems like I did everything wrong already. I really got tilted there. They're talking about me missing something else. Bad, Dan. It's a green deck. I feel like this is gonna be valuable. And probably, meh. Whatever. Badly played so far. Let's recover. Oh, now I'm glad I put that on the battlefield, as attacking a Nissa is always good. Of course, I would have still had it on the battlefield if I just played it pre-combat. Silly, silly, silly. All right, focus. What are we gonna do? We're not gonna warping wail a token here, so we'll attack and see if the opponent wants to block, then play our Thought-Knot Seer. I'm sure they do want to block. And show me your hand. No Gideon. We have another Herald with no enchantments. We have a Pilgrim's Eye with no lands, and we have a Knight of the White Orchid. That could generate value, so I think this is your pick. And Herald and Pilgrim's Eye, so just some tiny critters. Which I can kill the Pilgrim's Eye with my Warping Wail, should I care. So 2 planes, so now 1 planes, 1 Pilgrim's Eye that I know of. Okay, that's enough lands. Hopefully we can draw something of more effectiveness very soon. Uh-huh. That's all fine. This will let me get back the scrounger. So we'll add black here. And there we go. Oh, somebody is very passionate. They believe strongly that I punted, and so it appears I have. Fair enough. So our opponent, I believe, drew another land. I don't think that other duel was there. And here comes a forest. So... I mean, it's not like it has a good block, but he is trying to get Nissa to ultimate, so I should take something out. I also don't know why that we're running a Pilgrim's Eye, so there might be something else to it. I don't know. Emerge shenanigans, artifact shenanigans. But this will make sure that we can punch Nissa, and that our opponent, if they drew a planar outburst, wouldn't be able to ultimate her. At least not right away. Chumps. Could have killed Nissa with the warping wail. I don't feel like that's worth it. I do want to be ready for a planar outburst, especially since I said that. Don't you just love having mods to guide people into how to increase your punt count? Oh yeah, thanks a lot. No, it's fine. I can live with it. I know I probably make a lot more mistakes than I even realize. Okay, so we should play this first so we hold up wail just in case of a combat trick. Sounds ridiculous, but ridiculous happens all the time. Alright, down with Nissa. What's it gonna be? Having a deep think here. What could it mean? I was playing around Blessed Alliance by throwing everything at Nissa. I think if my opponent had Blessed Alliance, you just play that by now. They're just gonna run the timer. Maybe they're just really attached to their planeswalker. Maybe they're really depressed with this outcome. Just salty. Yeah, okay. Maybe. And here comes Zendikar's Royal. Alright, that makes 2/2s. Not very scared of them. But I don't necessarily want to trade a scrounger for them if I don't have anything in my if I don't have anything in my graveyard. It's interesting, right? Because we could remove these and go to the beatdown plan. But does that win? I mean, we know our opponent's pretty soft. That forest means I think they still have another plains in hand, so they'll have another token. Do my removal spells get any better? I guess we can fire up the fumarole and attack with it and only flip it if it goes unblocked. Nothing wrong with that. I'm really not ready to trade my scrounger for a 2/2 just yet. Let's see what happens. I want to be a little patient. Uh-huh. Yep, that's what I figured would happen. But we can at least make it happen. What do we have? I don't think we have any double blue, but I know we have some double red, so that's what I'll fetch. Alright, rolling on. This is blue-red Eldrazi lands. Obviously it is a land deck, because we draw plenty of lands. Such is the way of how we play the magics. And our opponent is going off. It is a retreat to Emeria Zendikar's Royal Landfall deck, of course. Going off. And getting aggro. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna get aggro too. It's not the most valued play, but since we're both flooding out, I need to get damage in. That's fine. I think that's... Is that better to use or not? Because I can use this with Thought-Knot Seer to get more damage. So if I attack for 11... This with Thought-Knot Seer is 7... 8... Or... 10... Which is better to use? This can hit a 4 toughness. Let me review the graveyard for anything I'm forgetting that my opponent might play. I don't know what I need to hit for 4 toughness. Emeria Shepherd, though, is a big one. That would probably be... Yeah, I'm sure that's in there if the opponent owns it. So I'll hang on to Harness Lightning and I'll use a Spatial Contortion. I'll fire this off now. And bring it. Nissa's renewal incoming. Yeah, that's the call, Duff Man. Where was Nighthawk? That sounds like something Nighthawk would say. And yeah, talking about red deck wins at the Pro Tour. My God. Pro Tour just turned into red aggro fest. Oh, here we go. So our opponent does have a captain. That's annoying. But it has to do block. If it doesn't block stuff, he's still being aggressive. Crazy. But that captain does have to do, like, he can't flip that captain and take all the damage. It's not going to happen. Another lightning. So I can go lightning attack. And if I do that, I still have to trade this. Or I can go lightning attack. Or I can try to blow up a double block, which is probably just smarter. I can present lethal and then he has to block. And if he goes for any kind of a double, I can blow up a double. I think that's best. Alright. Charge! Yep. Interesting. Okay, it's fine. Gonna hold these back. See what our opponent peels. And see, now that they're at 5, 5 is not 4, and we have a pair of 4 powers, so that's a little awkward, but I think we'll be okay. We can do it. And it is a knight. I don't believe they get a bonus for it, and they do not. So we still want to set them up for a set up their double blocks. That's the plan. So we don't want to use these yet. No other creatures in the yard, just drawing the lands, but we've put them in that position where they probably need dubs. How's it gonna be? Tough call. The opponent goes to 1, they are in the abyss, and dead to a Chandra off the top, or Glorybringer. Oh, there's the double block. Had a feeling it would have to happen. And now we can blow it up. So we've navigated for some 2-for-1 trades. Hopefully that'll be good enough. Drowner of Hope would also do the job. There's plenty of good cards we could draw instead of lands, but that's pretty much what we've done. And that's the way it goes. At least our opponent gets paid with 2 tokens for every land. I'm actually really happy when they draw dorks. You gonna attack me with that? Nope. Okay. Right, let's power up. At least make him block this. We might trade it too. Wouldn't be the worst thing now that we have another. Although we have enough mana to attack with both, so no, I don't think we want to trade it. But our opponent doesn't know that. Fine by me. There we go. Okay, big turn. The bad part is they get a little bit ahead with every land drop. Retreat. Oh, that's a blank. That's a big miss. Okay, so that should be lethals. So pause. Try this. One. And 2. Sorry if I'm not doing chat. I'm kind of focused at the moment because I want to get this part right. Okay, so my opponent's dead. I can scoop to him. They can have the gold. But we got there. Yay! What happened here? Let's see. Haven't seen a deck list. Oh, we're talking about deck lists of the red aggro deck. There you go. We don't have all the ingredients. Not even close. I built 2 red deck wins. The first one lost 2-0. Lost 2 in a row. It was horrible. But the second one did. The second red deck I built did a lot better, and that did qualify. That went 5-0. So my first one was like trying to see if I could make bonded construct work. It was a horrible idea. It was a bonded construct built to smash deck. It was embarrassing. I viewed it more as an experiment anyway. It's okay. It's okay. That deck was born to fail. Like all my worst ideas. But the deck that went up to Glorybringer and Reality Smasher, even though I don't even know if I cast those cards in the 5 games. That deck did really well. Abbot of Carol Keep, revealing Hazaret the Fervent when you don't have any cards in your hand, and you have the 4 mana to cast it. It's good stuff. This is an interesting hand, but I think it's too one-dimensional. This is better. Although we can't cast this wail, so hopefully we'll draw a way to do that. Hit me. Nope. Naya colors and a gear shift ace. Naya vehicles? 5-color vehicles? What is going on? What could it be? And that is not our wastes, but it can go get one. So that's nice. But would I rather have red mana? Because if I go get red mana, I have turn 4 Glorybringer. They've got a harvester, so what does that mean for me? Glorybringer ain't the best in harvester land. Might get really annoying. So do I get the waste or the mountain? It's a big choice. gonna make it the mountain. I don't see a lot for warping wail to do for a minute. Okay. Now I'm really happy about that mountain. Immediately paid off. And we'll put this out first and see what our opponent does, if they give us something to bring glory upon or not. Most likely we'll be getting attacked by a harvester. And if that's what's up, we can play a harvester. We can play Chandra plus and then play a harvester. Maybe something of that nature is the right move. We'll see. It's gonna be rough though. What the heck is this deck? Of course. Why wouldn't we play Retreat to Kazandu, Inventor's Fair, Pyramid of the Pantheon, Aethersphere Harvester, Gearshift Ace? Guys, we are... This is a brew. Like, this is a brew the likes of which I have not seen in a minute. This is a whole nother level. We are up against a true master, and we've got to focus, or we're going to get blowed up. Okay, they left the harvester wide open. So we're probably going to bring glory upon that Gearshift Ace. I would have liked to have warping wailed it. I did not expect it to get a +1/+1 counter. I thought I had time. I thought I had time. The only thing is I get rid of my Scion, I can't wail, but now I don't have a target for it anyway. Let's just get Dragon. Now, if our opponent, if this masterpiece they concocted with all these artifacts and enchantments and vehicles, if he's out of creatures, he's in a lot of trouble. Or even if he's really low on creatures, maybe we can cut the creatures off from the harvester and neutralize it that way. Never mind. Never mind. We cannot cut our opponent off from creatures ever, because they play Oketra. Because, I don't know if you heard, it's indestructible. Never mind. Son of a... What is this deck? It's a token landfall 5-color artifact vehicle theme. Synergies are literally unimaginable. Uncomprehendable. Oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? I definitely want to set up for Drowner. And if I play Chandra, I may be able to plus into Drowner. So I think I play Chandra and I leave my Sky Spawner to protect it. And I play my tap land. I guess. Alright, 2 damage. How you like that? Bang. Exile my scrapheap scrounger. Alright, D up. Please let me untap with a Chandra. Please don't let my opponent cast it out or do something else of ridiculousness. Lots of options on the warping wail, but none of them relevant yet. I planned to kill that Gearshift Ace when I had a regular source of colorless, but Retreat to Kazandu had other plans. Duh. Oh, get green mana, play... Of course, it's also an energy deck. It's also an energy deck. Could have used it right there to crew the harvester if they plan to use the harvester this turn, but it looks like the plan is defense. Why wouldn't we play... What are we doing? What are we doing with 2 mana? Why wouldn't we replay the elephant? I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. What can kill this? Gideon's Reproach can kill this. And nothing I can really do about it. Alright. And now we drew our colorless source, but... Alright. Plus for mana. Drowner of Hizzope. Get my Scion on. Man, attacking with this Glorybringer must be a trap. Should I just not attack with this glorybringer? I mean, against this pile, I just don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, glorybringer doesn't get better sitting around. Not really. Let's do this. If you've got Gideon's Reproach, you got a Gideon's Reproach. Aethersphere Harvester powers up. Pause. Tap. Okay. Nine. We have a suggestion to sit back and ultimate Chandra. Well, I hear that, but I think that sitting back and hoping your Planeswalker will ultimate is pretty ambitious, because if the opponent has nothing, like, that can interact with your Planeswalker, then why don't I just kill them with my superior creatures? I have a lot more creatures than they do. I think that's... I don't know. I see where you're going, but if these creatures are good enough, why don't I just win the game instead of worrying about ultimating Chandra when that plan could get blown up by cast out? Huh? I don't like giving my opponent time to recover when I have the better dorks. Okay, power up the Harvester. Sure. Harvester gonna attack? Let's just shut it down, shall we? And our opponent's at 9. They can't block anything. There could be a fog. There's a concession. Okay. I don't know what was up with that deck, but Drowner of Hope. Drowner of Hope can handle it. Greed is good as right. If I had Spatial Contortion, I could try to set it up so that there was a 1 toughness situation where I could exile it with... I could exile a creature with the Warping Wail if I set it up to have 1 toughness with a Spatial Contortion. But the numbers don't add up. Yeah, they do add up for Oketra because it's 1 or less. So, no, it still doesn't add up for Oketra because Spatial Contortion would make it a 6/3. So it wouldn't work for in that case. But there are moments. It's something to keep in mind. If the opponent had a Kalitas that was kicking my butt, could give it +3/-3 with Spatial Contortion and then exile it with Warping Wail. Who's next? Who dares to challenge the Eldrazi power? This game I would like to see kind of the pride of the Eldrazi tribe. I'd like to see Reality Smasher, Thought Not Seer. Vile Aggregate hasn't made an appearance yet. Let's bring out those cards. These are good cards. One people hanging out with me on their Saturday afternoon in July. Thank you. Very nice of you. And we got an opponent. I mean, I can't turn away turn 4 Glorybringer, so I just won't. Why would I? Too good. Of course, it's awkward, right, with the crumbling vestiges. I have to draw another red source, or I may not be able to cast it. Ripped Breaker, that's a good target. Now we're talking. That's how we wail, baby. That's why we wail. Okay, that gets me a red, but not on time. So we won't be on time, but I think we'll be okay. I don't want to let this Crypt Breaker get busy. That is one of the reasons I like Warping Wail in the deck. Exiling Crypt Breaker and Dread Wanderer. Because I have faced probably more zombies than anything else in the Amonkhet world. Amonkhet world that is now stuck as the Amonkhet world forever and ever. Reality Smasher, that is something I can play next turn. Oh, so Sky Spawner to the rescue. And blue, black, nothing. So maybe a Grasp of Darkness, something like that. Reality Smasher loves those kind of cards. We do take away our ability to cast Glorybringer with this line, whereas I could go search up a red mana and then have Glorybringer next turn. But then we're doing nothing this turn, which I hate that. I do not accept. I think Reality Smasher is just gonna, unless I get censored for the blowout, but I'd be surprised if I got censored out of a zombie build. It doesn't surprise me at all that a zombie deck would be lacking a 2-drop, because there aren't that many good 2-drops. But I'd be really surprised if they were like, instead of frickin' shambling ghoul or whatever, I'm gonna play censor. And I'm glad my opponent did not have it that time, or I would be sobbing. I'd be on the floor in tears. Yeah, this is the pride of the Eldrazi tribe, like I asked for. Turn 4, Reality Smasher. How you doing? Okay, a card I can play. I love it. So, no reason to slow roll this one. Let's get to work. 2-turn clock. Opponent takes the beating. Copter, report to the battlefield. We'll slow roll the Evolving Wilds because our opponent doesn't know yet that we play red. So it is relevant information in a way. Normally on turn 1 I do not care because their choices are so limited on their first couple turns anyway that it's unlikely to affect anything ever. But later in the game it can matter what information you give your opponent with your Evolving Wilds and when you give it to them. Ever After is part of this deck. Wow. Okay. A different thing going on. Okay, if we can peel a red source, we win. Shuffle 1 to the top as well, please. It's that Evolving Wild shuffle. Nope. Didn't get there. But we can play our aggregate and get our copter on. Hey, there's a red source, so we'll hang on to that. We will hang on to that. We'll also hold it back again, conceal the information from our opponent, as well as play around a marauding mummy that would make us discard Glorybringer. It really impresses me the level of jank you face on the ladder, CGB. Thank you, Kucho. It's a genuine compliment, I'm sure. Now, before we leave, I mean, if we're going to talk about the level of jank I face, let's take a moment and appreciate the fact that this is a rank 37 Xbox player. So this isn't even like, this is just scratching the surface. This is somebody who figured out the meta, and this is a deck that swims in the meta. Like this deck isn't a joke. So important to know. And we'll get airborne. And we'll exert Kill Your Crow, because I want to see more of this deck, don't you? I want to see what else we can flip over. Yeah, 3 red sources in a row off the top. Nice. And yeah, mastery, sure. Well, Kucho, that's why we can play such a wide variety of decks and make fun videos with them, and it's why we can run the scores up on the quest for the best search. So, like, we're gonna either tonight or tomorrow we're gonna start rolling out the decks that have already qualified, and we're gonna start eliminating some of them, and we're gonna see what streaks we can get to. I believe last year's winner was like 21-1 was the record. This year, I want to blow that away. I want a deck to go 30-0. I don't know if I've ever had a 30-game win streak, but maybe we can find it with some of this OP stuff we be building and playing. If I have my game face on, who knows? That's a lot of land. That's a lot of land. That's not enough land. Okay. This game is brutal sometimes. Hit me. Yeah. Needed it. Behold the nothing I can play. The vestige without casting anything just feels so wrong. It always feels like I failed. Like I just failed this city. I think we lead on the aggregate here because it gets pumped as we play the other creatures, so it's like giving pseudo haste points. Our opponent's got the blue-white mana going, the tap land open. Crumbling vestige on a tear, making its presence known in this game. And let's get vile, shall we? One of the little pleasures in life is ingesting your foes on Xbox. You never know what you're going to flip off the top of their deck. Kefnet the Mindful, that is a mythic rare that we do not have an easy way to deal with. Tapping it down with Crowner of Hope has got to be the best. But regardless, that got my attention. If we do draw a Drowner of Hope, that would be very clutch. We also don't have much with 6 toughness. A pair of spatial contortions could also do the job. Do they have the land? Ah, they're going to attack first. Makes sense. That is fine, but let's see how they stay alive. If they want to race me, I feel like I'm better positioned for that than for Kefnet sitting back drawing cards and being an awesome wall. And it's going to be a rock? An energy bird of some kind? What? Okay, so our opponent went down to... They played their land and they went down to 5 cards to play this. Whenever Aetherstorm Rock or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain energy. Whenever it attacks, you may pay 2 energy, +1/+1 counter, tap a defender. So sitting back is about to get bad. But I don't really have a good choice. I don't want to just throw any of these away. I guess if I attacked with everything, there's a chance my opponent doesn't block. But even then, if he just eats this and takes 5, he goes to 12. It's not like I gain much from that, and this may be required. Well, this is going to have a hard time blocking because this thing's going to produce energy. But it only produces energy if they play creatures. If he keeps playing creatures, he can't attack with Kefnet or block with Kefnet. Yeah, we can just attack with Vile. We're not in that tight of a race yet. if he's attacking with the rock and playing creatures, then Kefnet isn't going to be doing anything. And I think that we're fine with that. Oketra's Monument, okay. They have a 2-turn clock, which is scary. That's true. If he goes that route, he can draw a card, but he doesn't have the energy, so he can attack for 8. Then if he plays another creature, he can attack for 8. But right now, that would allow me a chump with the Sky Spawner. And then we attack back for 7, and then our clock is quicker. So if he goes that route, we have a 2-turn clock. All right. Goes up to 8. He did return a land. I find that absolutely bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. All right, are we attacking? Yeah. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I draw a spatial contortion, I can win. However, if I don't block here and I don't draw a spatial contortion, actually, I also win if I draw Drowner of Hope, but that's known. That's obvious. If I don't block here and next turn he just plays out a creature and gets an energy, he can use the rock and I die. So this is actually really tough. Let's see, how many draws in my deck win the game? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 51. Not, oh, obligator, 7. But still not good enough. And 3 of those win the game. Actually, 5 of those win the game, whether I make this block or not. It's really just the 2 spatial contortions that I'd be drawing for. Alright, so I think that's got to be the right block. And there is something that can block as well. So we could do 7. My opponent can't kill me. Yeah. I think we do 7 here and threaten a lethal attack next turn if we get through. And then we play the copter and hope. I'm going to hold this land. Might need something to loot. That's a displacement wave. God, that would have been a beating. I've got to wonder if my opponent has another one. If they hit a land drop and a displacement wave, that would be pretty harsh. I mean, I guess he'd still have the rock, but my whole board would be in hand. All right, what's it gonna be? Got some great draws. Just, it would be really nice if they turned up. Would be really freaking nice. Curator of Mysteries, more rares in the air is what is going on, and our opponent is on 7, so they can block. They can block. Aethersphere Harvester would be good. Glorybringer, that would do it. I forgot about that one. Walking Ballista, forgot about that one. So we actually have so many live draws. A good number. Let's see, 1, 2. You don't have any energy, so that won't do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 draws that I can see that if we just wheel them, we win. However, if we do not win this turn, we lose. But did my opponent just... I mean, I think they just punted. I thought for sure they must have something else. I mean, they're just dead here, right? Jarrow's Resolve is the only thing I can think of. All right. Let's try it. Is it a Jarrow's Resolve? Like I said yesterday, nobody plays that card. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. Got him. Combat math. Too hard. Holy cow. That was an interesting little damage race between me and some flying rares and mythics. But yeah, gotta do your combat math, everybody. The rock should not be attacking there. All right, 4-0. This is a decider. Do we sweep it? Do we take a 5-0 into the next stage? And we have an opponent named Graveyard fill us, so they're already telling me something about their strategy, I think. This hand is fine. Not great, but fine. Nighthawk gives that an Are you also watching Pro Tour coverage, Nighthawk? Because I know you went to bed. For those who don't know, I stayed up the whole time. I ended up going to sleep at about 7:15 a.m. my time, and waking up around noon, and then taking care of the dogs and getting right back to Duels. So I saw all of yesterday. We'll see if I can do it again tonight for the top 8. But that's where I'm at. I'm sure some of you can be watching the vodcast right now if you want to catch up on what happened. The suspenseful races for Standard and Draftmaster. Oh my god. They really love talking about that. I mean, Nighthawk, if you thought they talked about it a lot before, holy cow. I don't think I need to kill that, at least not yet. Might someday, but not now. Let's deploy. Nighthawk apparently looked at the top 8 deck list. You wouldn't be disappointed if it was Joel Larson. Wasn't that his PT win, was playing red? I think it was, now that I think about it. I distinctly remember him casting, like, Exquisite Firecraft. Oh, that's a good card. Oh, don't kill the Scion, though. Nice. Okay, sweet. But yeah, if you like red decks, tonight is the top 8. Okay, is there any better way to do this? I don't think so. That Scion's just gonna die anyhow. So let's bring the pain. If I'm the opponent, I do not chump here. There is no way that keeping Liliana around is as valuable as a creature when she's probably going to die anyway. And ticking up just makes him discard a card. So, good call by the opponent. But yeah, reality is smashing down around him. Do we have... I guess I would keep my Liliana if I had a Oath of Liliana in my hand. That is what it would take. Joel missed out on Platinum. What? You gotta be kidding. That is tragic. You poor... I mean, this must be the worst news you've heard since Duels didn't receive Hour of Devastation. It turns out the real Hour of Devastation was yet to come, courtesy of Joel Larson. Joel Larson has brought the devastation to Nighthawk. It's all very sad. Walking Ballista, nice. Let's send in this Smasher. Pretty sure it's lightning, but what is going to get the lightning? I think we'll wait till our opponent's turn to decide. Yonder wishes he knew what that meant. Well, let me put it this way. Nighthawk has a severe man crush on a very handsome pro Magic player named Joel Larson. And just Google the guy. You'll understand. It's Nighthawk's hero, and his hero didn't make platinum, and platinum means that you get invited to every Pro Tour and you get travel benefits. So, I hope that spells it out a little better. That Lone Rider is probably a target. Gonna gain 1/2. Although the Lone Rider, if I can keep it from flipping, so if that enters the battlefield, it'll be gain 1, lose 1. This is when it attacks. When it becomes tapped. So he can gain 2 life if I shock that thing now, which isn't 3. And then I can kill the Lone Rider with a walking ballista. Or no, that doesn't work because he already gained 1 life? No, he didn't. He played the Lone Rider. He didn't play it. I thought for a moment I messed it up. But this should only be 2 life for the turn. It should not be 3. If I did everything right. And we will see. And that should let me kill the Lone Rider with the walking ballista. Yeah. Alright. Send the reality his way. Considering Nighthawk's lack of response to these discussions of his man crush on Joel, he must be crying in a bathroom. Oh, there he is, and he's making comments on the game. That's very healthy. Yeah, he's saying things like, "We can't lose to life gain. It's just undignified," with a sarcastic face. Well, that's the Nighthawk I know. It's good to see you recovered from learning of this tragedy. Good to see you're okay. We're just gonna do this now before my opponent gets a chance to untap and pull shenanigans. Haven't earned it yet. But he's like, man, you kill my Lone Rider. And the AI is not going to play around anything, so I'll just crack this Evolving Wilds now. Double reds, more important. We have no double blue cards, but we have Glorybringer and we have Chandra. Yeah, that was the moment of silence. I am also sure. Good call, Yonder. Nice to see Nighthawk smile again. I thought he might never smile again after Joel Larson failed to make platinum. Okay, well, we're still in kind of a race. Our opponent has this life gain stuff, but never mind. We're good. This makes it pretty hard to race. Crew it up. I'm gonna crew with these. So I have this big old 5/5 wall in front of the 1/2. And let's bring the heat. It looks like a 5-0 for Eldrazi. As long as the AI doesn't find a way to steal this. Quick, Nighthawk, what can they play? What can they do? Quick. Surely you can come up with a card to save them. Tragic Arrogance, that doesn't really do it. I still have Heart and then Matter Reshaper. Sorin. Oh, did you say Sorin? Let's see. Sorin on Drowner is a pretty good play. Sorin ticking up. Unburden is the card. Okay. You know it would have been a great combo. Sorin and Crested Sunmare. In a world we don't live in, that would have been meta-defining. I mean, that's the curve right there. Alright. tap down. We don't have to do that on unstep. In fact, we can and should wait till our turn. I'm just being a little lazy. Because we got it. We got the 5-0 with the Eldrazi. Boom! Shakalaka.